Hi, how can I help you?
Hey, just a Royale with cheese, please.
I'm sorry, what?
A Royale with cheese.
A quarter pounder with no cheese?
Precisely.
Anything else?
No, thank you.
It's going to be 533 at your first window.
Royale with cheese.
They call it Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
That's right.
Teenage wedding and the old folks wished. Does he look like a bitch?
What?
Shoot every motherfucking last one of you!
Disclaimer. Tarantino claims due to fluid memory, the scenes are different to everybody, and I also understand that just because the film is non-chronological doesn't mean it can't be a linear storyline. However, this video is not about that. If you're watching this, you've most likely seen the movie Pulp Fiction. It is considered director Quentin Tarantino's opus out of all the movies in his very prolific career. However, you may have never thought about just why he decided to make Pulp Fiction non-chronological other than it just being creative. I for one doubt that Tarantino would set up his greatest film like that for the sake of it being creative. So here's my explanation as to why I believe he did it. Divine intervention by the god of the story changes the timeline as you watch the film, i.e. Deus Ex Machina. Tarantino starts the movie with the two Bonnie and Clyde-esque lovers, for namesake Honey Bunny and Pumpkin.
I love you, Pumpkin.
I love you, Honey Bunny.
They start off this film with their impromptu stick-up of a diner, and other than Honey Bunny threatening to execute everyone if they moved, that's all we know.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you fucking pricks move! And I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you!
However, it is also the first time we see God intervene as he freezes the frame on them to reveal the rest of the timeline. We will come back to that sequence later in the video. The next characters that are introduced are not only the most important, but also the catalyst for why I believe this movie is non-chronological. Vince and Jules are the two well-dressed hitmen sent by Marcellus Wallace to receive his briefcase. This is where the actual timeline starts. This is where God comes into play. Towards the end of the job to receive the briefcase, Vince and Jules are shot at by somebody with a gun bigger than himself, but he misses each shot. This is pointed out by Jules himself that it is divine intervention, and he's very correct.
This was divine intervention. You know what divine intervention is?
In that moment, the god in the movie decided to have them live. I mean, why else would the hand cannon wielder miss every shot at a distance no greater than 3 meters? God then reveals more of his nature in the film. When Vince takes Mia Wallace to dinner, we see her draw an actual square out of thin air, something that only a god could do and would want us to see. Another example is when Butch is being transported away from his deadly fight. We see that the background is clearly an old school 1940s rear vision street reel. These peculiar scenes are possible because Quentin Tarantino is saying that he, as the filmmaker, is God. And when you make a movie, you play God. With not only your characters, but your audience, by showing them what they might want to see and what they might not want to see. This is proven true by the fact that he made the movie storyline non-chronologically, because as he reveals the outcomes of the original timeline, he essentially says to the audience that he, as God, can change it into a new timeline where Butch doesn't Uzi Vincent in his bathroom. This is why the ending is left with Vince and Jules walking away happily, because God can make their characters live or die. But of course, the audience doesn't want them dead, so he leaves it ambiguous to show his power. His power is also displayed for a final time in the final scene, because Honey Bunny doesn't execute anyone at all, but actually lets Vincent and Jules get away scot-free, and Jules actually threatens one of the robbers. But nobody dies from that situation, and when somebody should have clearly died otherwise. With all this being said, Tarantino played God from Jules' divine intervention on.
I think so. That means that God came down from heaven and stopped the bullets?
That's right. That's exactly what it means. God came down from heaven and stopped these motherfucking bullets.
And changed the storyline as he saw fit, which is why this movie is not chronological. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video on the film Pulp Fiction, and if you would like to see more film-related videos, please subscribe to the official Sid, and leave a like to let me know that you are watching. Thank you, and good night.